Hey guys, LLman here for another late night deck profile. And as you can see from the thumbnail, that we are looking at the new purple deck from BT13. The deck is actually surprisingly very strong. This is only my first time actually looking at it, and I have been testing it a little bit now that I finally got all the cards for it. And surprisingly, it's very strong. Um, when I went, and looked up the deck, I was wondering like, how did this deck top so much? And then I started looking at the cards, and I just saw it in conjunction, and I watched a few videos, and I just realized, wow, this deck is incredibly busted, and it kind of has to be because in BT13 we are of course getting the new Royal Knights deck. I will be making a profile on that as well to show in comparison with this. Royal Knights is really fast and it's really powerful and has a lot of removals. So I'm like, how does it get around that? And then I looked at it and I'm like, oh, this deck can do it because it's almost a one for one counter almost, which is really crazy. Because not only does it have access to Psychmon, which stops them from reducing cost, but also has Gazimon to stop them from gaining memory or anything like that. It also has a way to negate their attacks, which is basically what Royal Knights does to do chip damage. And also the fact that your guy's basically fully immune to almost all their effects, which is really cool. Yeah, so I was like, okay, I gotta try this deck out. And in testing, it performed very well. I've only tested it against Sakuya, my own kind of like personal build of Royal Knights, stack decks like Metal Garuru and War Greymon. It's kind of funny with War Greymon because you actually have to purposely like you have to like force them to try and attack your dude. But if you can do it and they don't get that extra swing, you basically are solid for that point because they basically can't get the checks on you. Basically, it's really strong. Anyway, let's actually get into the deck so I can show you what I mean. So for eggs, we are running the 4 Demimera. Demimera is still very strong in this deck because you do delete your guys a lot. So this will help you get that extra draw and trash, which is really strong because it does do a lot of things in the trash too. Sorry about that. But yeah, no, we run 4 for consistency. I do want to try running possibly the new Kapurimon. He's like purple. That one's also really solid. I might run 2, maybe just, or one more just to fill it out to 5 eggs. But aside from that, this is pretty solid so far, and haven't really needed a 5th egg. I've always closed out games with it fast enough. Then for rookies, we of course run 4 of the new Fascomon, the little koala dude. He's really cool. Like on deletion, he just draws the card. So it's basically like it's basically like Belphemon's own personal version of Tapirmon from like BT2, I believe. Really cool, very solid. Also, its effect is end of opponent's turn, once per turn. You can draw 1, then trash 1 card in your hand. So if you have a guy that's kind of like sticking out there and he's underneath it as a source, you can get that extra draw, which is really cool. But the cool thing about that is that we do have a card in this deck that actually allows us to delete a rookie inside the breeding area, which is completely brand new. We have never had a card like that interacting with the breeding area until now. So really cool that this deck can do that. So we run 4 copies because of that on deletion, and it's we don't really I haven't really used its inherent so far, but pretty decent so far to run at 4. We then run, of course, 2 Psychmons to deal with Royal Knight because we got to stop them from reducing costs. Then we run 2 Gazis, so they can't use memory boost or anything like that. Basically, any deck that uses memory boost has a hard time because that way Gazi stops them from doing anything. Then we run 4 of the Proto Gizamon. This guy, if you notice right here, he doesn't actually have an evolution thing. He cannot Digivolve, but the cool thing is that when you would play him, you can delete one of your level 2 Digimon in the breeding area. It says right there. And then reduce the play cost by 2. So it makes it a 1 cost, and on play you get to draw 1. And then all turns, this guy can't Digivolve, of course. And on deletion, you can return 2 cards of Gizumon in their name to the bottom of the deck in any order, and you can play 1 Gizumon AT. So it basically plays its higher form after deletion, which is really cool, but it does require 2 Gizumons, so pretty solid like cost, honestly. Like this guy's really solid because you get to just play a free guy out on board to delete Fasco and then draw a card. It's really strong. And yeah, that's basically all the rookies that we run. We run exactly 12. This deck is semi like a stack deck, but at the same time it can do a lot of hard plays, which is really cool. But yeah, so we have these two, and then these 4. For level 4s, or champions, we run, of course, 4 of the Gizumon AT that this card mentioned. This card is really cool. When you would play this card, you can delete a level 3 Digimon to reduce the play cost by 4. So it basically becomes a 2 cost, and then on play, you get to draw 2 instead of 1. And then on deletion, it has the same effect, except that instead of playing AT, it plays XT, the level 5 version of it. So really cool. Gotta run 4 of this because the deck relies on these guys to help you delete and draw cards. Then with this deck being purple and wanting to delete itself a lot, we run 4 Eismon Scatter Mode. This card is really self-explanatory. On deletion, draw 3, discard 2. Still really busted card to this day. Like every purple deck, honestly, I feel needs to at least run a few of these because it's just so powerful. It gives you so much draw. Then, of course, 1 Eismon, Rip still at 1. Really sucks, but you know what? If they gave us back 4, we would just abuse it, honestly. So, I feel I can see why. Then we run... yeah, actually, no, that's actually all the level 4s because I literally just looked at level 5. Yeah, we basically only run 9. I was running 10. I added in a blocker, but I felt that it kind of bricked the deck a little bit because this one is already a blocker by default, I believe. Oh no, actually no. It's the level 5 that is a blocker already, so you already have access to 4 blockers in your deck, and you can replay it like multiple times. So it's pretty solid, honestly. But yeah, that's all the level 4s. For level 5s, we of course run 4 of the new Astamon. This one is completely different from the Cross Hunters version. This one's really cool. It has an on-play and when Digivolving effect, which... I mean, if you still have an Eismon out there, you're going to evolve it. Cool thing is that on play, when Digivolving, by deleting one of your other purple Digimon, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with Belphemon its name in your hand without paying the cost. So if you already have a little guy out, like you push out a rookie, hard play it, kill it, and then you get to evolve into your level 6 for free, basically. And the cool thing is that it has a really amazing inherit. When a card is trashed from your hand, which will be triggered by your level 6 or your Tamer, you can play level 4 or lower from your trash without paying its cost. That is insane because you can set up for a second strike or another unsuspension because the level 6 does delete something and then unsuspend itself. So really strong. You have to run at least 4 of this card. I actually hard play this against my friend, and I passed 6 to him, but I had my level 6 that is completely immune, can just negate attacks. It's so good. And then the other level 5 that we run is 4 copies of XT. XT is really cool. When you would play this card by deleting a level 4, you can reduce it by 6, so it becomes a 3 cost. Basically, a 3 cost 9,000 blocker, really strong. On play, you can play the Tamer Akihiro Kurata from your trash without paying the cost. Really strong because Kurata does help you do stuff. And then on deletion, you may play 1 Proto Gizamon from your trash, so you basically just restart from here and just keep going up from there. So really cool. And that's basically all level 5s we run. The main crux of the deck is to just keep deleting your dudes to keep summoning, and then hard playing like him to summon your level 5, which is really cool. And yeah, then for level 6, of course, we are running the 4 Rage modes, or Belphemon Rage mode. This guy is really busted, honestly. Like, after reading his effects, like, this card is just amazing, honestly. Like, it is one of the best level 6s from BT13, and I highly recommend, like, trying this deck out because it's just, like, you'll see what I mean. So he has 3 different effects, or 2 different effects. First, start of your main phase, delete all of your opponent's level 5 or lower. So once your main phase starts, he deletes all of their level 5s and lower. It is insane. You just wipe their board. So sucks for Bloomlord. Really sucks for them, actually. So that's on them. Then, if you have 6 or fewer cards in your hand, he gets plus 3,000 and a security plus 1. So, if you set it up properly, he will be a 17,000 with 2 checks. So, you basically can check multiple times. And then, end of attack, you can delete something to unsuspend it. So, you're basically getting 4 checks at 17, which is enough to basically breach over almost everything. So, really strong. His inherent mainly matters when it evolves into its other form, sleep mode. End of opponent's turn, if this Digimon is Belphemon sleep mode, you get to trash the top card of this Digimon, so you basically just switch back into him, and then if you have like the option card, Gift of Darkness, you can just kill something and then evolve back into sleep mode, so really strong. Like, this card, honestly, like, I can see this deck doing very well in regionals because it's just so strong and there's so much recursion. Then we run, of course, the 4 sleep modes that I mentioned. Sleep mode's really cool. He can Digivolve on top of Belphemon, so you could actually even pass turn to 1 by evolving. And the cool thing is that on play or when Digivolving, you can just play. You can literally hard play this card. And the cool thing is that you can reduce the cost too, thanks to the Tamer, Karata, which is really cool. When you do an on play or when Digivolving, you just absorb a Belphemon from trash and you just get his effect immediately of immunity. And then during, like basically, you have to place the rage mode underneath him to to basically have the effect where he is not affected by your opponent's effects. So any effect they try to apply to him, it will not happen. I'm not sure about raid. I'll have to look up the ruling on that. But so far, almost everything aside from that, I'm not sure how that works. I just assume raid would go off regardless because it's affecting their Digimon and not your Digimon. It's affecting them. But cool thing is that opponent's turn once per turn. When an opponent's Digimon attacks by trashing 2 cards in your hand, you can just end the attack. So you have a once per turn redirect or just complete stop. So basically, this is like the original Omni X being able to stop attacks, except you only get it once per turn. But that once per turn could be crucial because it could stop them from going for game, which is really good. And yeah, this in conjunction together is just so strong. Like on their turn, you have a guy that basically can't be killed, especially when you can block an attack. And then on your turn, you have like an unstoppable juggernaut that just punches through, basically. So really strong. We do not run any level 7s, so we're just going to skip right to the options. For options, we run 3 Gift of Darkness, also for BT13. This card is really busted. Main, you get to delete one of your opponent's level 6 or higher Digimon. So say goodbye to your fucking level 6. You know, it's gone. Then one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a sleep mode without paying its cost. From the trash, too. Specifically, so if you pop this off during your turn, you just go, okay, I put it back on. And you just keep doing that every turn, and it's just so busted. Then security, you can trash one Digimon card in your hand, and then you get to delete one of your opponent's Digimon equal to it. So it's kind of like Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon, except it's specifically any Digimon, basically. So really cool. And yeah, then we run 2 purple memory boosts because we do occasionally brick and we do want to search. So this is really strong. Then we run 1 Underworld Call. Originally, I was running 2 and 2 of this, but I felt this card is way more important than this, so I decided to opt to do 1 for this and 3 for this. And yeah, that's basically all the option cards we run for Tamers. We, of course, run 2 Analog Boys because we do want to see our stuff in the trash, usually. And of course, you know, if it dies, you get the game memory. If you have both of these, you're getting 2 memory. You play 1 mat because sometimes you do mill all your sleep modes and you do need 1 back again. So I'm running 1 just in case. And of course it sets memory, so pretty solid. Then 4 of the new Akihiro Kurata because he has some pretty busted effects. So first, on your turn, when a card with Belphemon in its name would be played by deleting one of your Digimon with Gizu in its name, you can reduce the play cost of that deleted Digimon. So usually you want to have that delete this, then you reduce the cost of this to 2, or even 14 with this, which is really, you usually don't want to do that. You want to hard play this. So you're basically playing a 2 cost level 6. And then at the end of your opponent's turn, once per turn, you get to just draw a card and discard a card, which will trigger Astamon's effect to summon a level 4, which is really powerful. And then after that, you get to tuck him underneath Belphemon and delete a level 6. But it has to be a Belphemon. That's the only requirement. But you're mainly going to have this guy out. So this guy doing that is really cool because then you just get to go like, oh, I delete your level 6 on my turn. Oh, wait, you made another one? Okay, let me kill it again. And then you get to set up again next turn. It's just insane how strong that is. This guy is a obvious staple of 4. Very solid. But yeah, that's basically the deck so far that I have. This is a very rough build. This is still a template at the moment. I've only done a little bit of testing, as I mentioned, but so far it's felt very solid, very consistent. Even when I had a hand of level 6s, I was like, okay, cool, I'm just going to discard half my hand and just set up. Like, this deck is actually really consistent. Mainly, I feel it's because of the Gizumons, because they set up so much, like, stuff fast. And, of course, having the option cards that help you do that. And then even this, just, like, play level 4 for free. Really powerful. Like, honestly, this deck has a lot of power that can rival Royal Knights. And I feel that it's a very solid option for this meta because it has the potential to basically take them on, which is really good. Or not even just take them on, but go toe-to-toe, like 50-50 on them. So it's all, at that point, it's just up to the skill and the luck. So, yeah. as I say many times, it's a template. You can change it however you want. Make it kind of work with how you are or how your play style is. Because this is my own version that I've created so far, and I feel it's very solid for me. I was running 3 of this originally, but I opted to kind of lower it because in a lot of my test matches, I ended up milling 2 to 3 of these, and you don't really want to mill all your sleep mills because you want to end up like hard playing them usually. With Kurata on the field. Aside from that, deck's pretty good. Yeah. Aside from that, as usual, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the deck because I do like as much advice as possible because that way I can improve this deck profile so that people can have a better build to use or to start from, basically. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time for the next deck profile. See ya.